You know, the greatest strength of India as a country, that its biggest population is youth. But when it comes to the country's film industries, they are not servicing to them. They are not telling stories about them. There is a really big gap there, and that's why there are other platforms which has attracted the youth. The movie watching has been going down, but that's changing, especially in the south, where industries like Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu are constantly trying to fill up that gap, and we are constantly seeing those films doing wonders at the box office. But why are those films clicking? Just because of the relatability factor, or there's more to it? To understand that, let's talk about the Tamil film Youth, written, directed and starring Ken Karunas. What a talented man at such a young age, which we'll come to. Just a few weeks back we got Vada 2 from Malayalam, which has already grossed over 200 crores now, and now I finally watched Youth, which is streaming on Netflix, and I got a lot of recommendations to check the film out. And if you look at it, both the films have a lot of similarities why they work. Both films are made with the youth, by the youth, for the youth, and that is why these films have an authentic understanding of the lives of these characters. They all are derived from real experiences me and you have gone through, and that is why there's an instant connect while we watch this film. There's this youthfulness in the making itself. There's this energetic approach in the filmmaking process. It's very dynamic, it's very lively, it is an visceral experience. The cast of both the films, the people you see representing yourself on the big screen, they are young, they feel young. That's the most important part. They have not casted big stars who are 40 or 50 playing a 20-year-old, and that has been a big problem, especially with Bollywood. Even when they tell the stories of the youth, they cast these old actors to do the job of a young person, and there's an instant disconnect. And that is why it is important to invest in young voices, be it the writers, directors or actors. Now behind Youth is Ken and his team, who are young people, and they live up to the title throughout the film. The style of the film is very fantastical. It's almost like what if our school life was a big commercial film. That's how they have approached it. It's based on imagination. It is like how we look back at our school life. We imagine it as a film with a lot of colors. It's very cinematic, and that's how this film has treated it. Everything is over the top. It's dramatic. Initially, they literally break the fourth wall, and the film is intentionally very filmy. At no point it's trying to be very realistic or grounded, but that doesn't mean it's true to the reality we have lived. The subject matter is very real. The way the characters walk, the way they talk, their attitude, that innocent romance, the drama, the heartbreak, all of this is raised to 11. Watching this film was a roller coaster ride. It really went from a lot of fun to getting frustrating, but later it becomes very fresh. And the journey makes sense considering the route we take to the story. Now I have a personal rant which we have to talk about. Why is it always about the bad guys? Those who don't study, don't follow rules, have no discipline. It's always stories about them. And I totally understand why. Because then you can have an arc for the character, the fall and rise. That's what makes it entertaining, engaging to watch. I guess that's why it works. But I'm just tired of it. What about the good guys who follow the rules, who follow discipline, who are always on time, they try their best in the studies? No one even talks about them. They are like ignored, not just by society, even by the girls. Like they always fall for the bad guys. Like what about us? Like come on. Like all of this is frustrating. It get on my nerves. And seeing what's going on in the film, what this character is doing and how things are unfolding, that was pissing me off. I was starting to hate the character. And maybe that was the intention of the filmmaker. There's a very thin line between being naive and being an idiot. And for me that line was just getting thinner and thinner. Coming of age films are meant to be very relatable. And watching this particular film, this particular character, it was not very relatable for me. The journey he was on. Of course the whole romance part was just fantasy for most of us. But also I couldn't relate to his actions. And then I was just waiting for the film to, get serious. The moment when the fun and joy end, when the reality strikes. Something that we see in Vada 2. But the film takes a long time to get into that. But surprisingly, it still keeps you hooked because of all the style in the film and the charm of the main lead. We have the group of friends, we have a lot of cute movements between the characters. And as the plot points come, you can tell that they are coming from experience. These things happen somewhere or the other in someone's life. We all know about them growing up. And the film enacts a totally blown out version of them, almost as if you're watching a theater. Like there are a lot of laugh out moments. The whole interval sequence, when the breakup has to happen, you're on this wide road with no one else is there, it's all empty. The weather is building up, it's thundering, creating the typical scenario of a breakup, what we have seen in films. And they did such things throughout the film. They create some really beautiful visuals. The way the film is edited, the transitions, you can tell they were planned on set. It was not later thought on the editing table. The way the film uses the different uniforms the characters wear in school, they play with that. Visually, there's a consistent rhythm throughout, and that shows you the level of craft the makers have. The way the music is utilized in the film, the way the dance sequences are choreographed, the way they are captured. I'm sure there were a lot of references to other Tamil films that were present in the film, which I totally missed out on. But all of this just keeps you visually stimulated. Now it's the second half where the film starts to get a bit rough for me. This is where my irritation was at the highest, because as we were seeing the actions made by the lead character, I was no more in support of him. I was actually against him making mistakes and blaming them on others, totally manipulating, being a womanizer, getting angry if someone calls him that. We really go deep in his fall, and the final straw was the way he treats his mom. At that point, he was just a loser to me, a character who deserves nothing good. And the way we were going through these scenes made me really worried, and I just hope that the film addresses what it's showing and we just don't move away from it. And with the ending, they did address that. We do get a whole arc for the character, but there were certain elements the way they did it which I was not a big fan of. Especially in the last 30 minutes, there's a really big fall in the quality of the detailing in the film. Like in the first half, they established that his big friend can take down 4 college guys single-handedly, and then later you show that 3 of his classmates, which are equal to him, took him down alone. Like that doesn't make sense of what you only established in the film. It felt like a forced element to take the plot ahead so that we can get this big fight moment in the climax. Like throughout the film, there is not a single shot of him studying. We are told that he has failed in all the subjects. The farewell has already happened, and he barely has a month to study for the final exams. And within that 1 month, he does so well that he ends up being a topper. Like that just feels very far-fetched. I'm not saying that cannot happen. It's a movie, anything can happen. But the problem is it gives you a vibe that everything is just resolved. We know how much effort you have to put in to crack the board exams. When you have just loitered around all year and just 1 month you have studied so much and you're in the top 10, like that feels very unreal. But I guess that point goes really well with the messaging of the film. That's what they're trying to say, that study well, do well, and you'll have a better life. I feel the way Dragon dealt with its climax, the way it ended it, of course very different films, but trying to give the similar message. I really like the way Dragon treated it. But still, the way they wrap up the film, it's really well done. The whole cast was really good. It was good to see all the girls in the film had some agency to them. Each of them had a different personality. They were not just there for being eye candy. Ken has all the qualities of a star. He has written it, he has started the film and acted also, and he was just, so fluid in the role. I can see him going on the path of what PR has done. His friend, the actor who played Bablu, was it just me or did he just look like a replica of Lal? Let me know if anyone thought that. Devadarshini as the mom, like I've seen her in so many other films, but it was good to see that she got a good role in this. But for me, it was Suraj who stole the show, especially that last scene. That was the impact scene of the film. Again, similarities with Vada. But overall, a really fun film. This is exactly what you want in young films. A different energy, a different vibe, a different approach, which we have not seen before. And this is what happens when you give chance to young people. Now, the next big Tamil film to look out for is Kara by Dhanush. They're looking forward to that. Do subscribe to get the review whenever the film is out. And then you can check out my other Tamil reviews of the year. Let me know your thoughts about the film in the comments below, and I will see you next time.